Imagine standing at the edge of a future no one else can see. Too expensive, too risky, too ambitious, and yet something inside you refuses to be quiet. That is where the Elon Musk mindset begins. Not in comfort, not in certainty, but in discomfort, in doubt, in a stubborn belief that the world can be rewritten by those who dare to question it. Elon Musk did not start as a superhero. He was a quiet, introverted kid, bullied relentlessly, often lost in books, dreaming about worlds beyond the one he was trapped in. While others were playing it safe, he was asking dangerous questions. Why does the world work this way? Why can't it work better? That habit, questioning the default, became his superpower. Mindset is not positive thinking. Mindset is what you do when everything is stacked against you. When Musk left South Africa with almost nothing, he didn't have a safety net. No powerful connections, no guarantees. Just a burning clarity that if he stayed where he was, his potential would die quietly. So he chose uncertainty over regret, risk over comfort, growth over approval, and that choice shaped everything. Belief is not blind optimism. Belief is logic married to courage. When Elon Musk started Zip2, he didn't believe because it was easy. He believed because he could see a solution others ignored. While the internet was still a novelty, he understood that information would define the future. He slept on the office floor, showered at the YMCA, and coded through exhaustion, not because he loved suffering, but because he loved the mission more than comfort. That's the first brutal truth of greatness. If your dream doesn't cost you sleep, sweat, and security, it's probably too small. Clarity is what separates dreamers from builders. Musk doesn't chase 10 goals at once. He locks onto problems that matter at a planetary scale. Sustainable energy, space exploration, artificial intelligence, transportation. He asks one question over and over. What is the most important problem I can work on right now? Not what's trending, not what's popular. What actually moves humanity forward. That clarity allows obsession. And obsession, when directed properly, becomes progress. Vision is seeing with your mind before the world catches up. When Musk talked about electric cars, people laughed. When he talked about reusable rockets, experts mocked him. When he talked about colonizing Mars, they called him insane. But vision doesn't ask for permission. Vision doesn't wait for applause. Vision whispers to those willing to listen. This can exist even if it doesn't yet. At Tesla, the odds were brutal. The company nearly collapsed. Production hell, missed deadlines, public humiliation, financial ruin hovering constantly. There were moments when Musk admits he thought everything was over, and yet, he stayed. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you moving when motivation dies. Everyone around you says it's impossible. Musk's purpose was never just money. If it were, he would have quit long ago. His purpose was survival, human survival, expanding consciousness, ensuring humanity doesn't put all its eggs in one fragile planetary basket. When your purpose is that big, pain becomes tolerable. Failure becomes information. Criticism becomes noise. Discipline is doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Elon Musk works insane hours. Not for attention, not for ego, but because the timeline matters. Because delay has consequences. Because the future doesn't wait. He reads constantly. He breaks problems down to first principles, stripping assumptions, rebuilding truth from the ground up. He doesn't accept that's how it's always been done as an answer. He demands why. Action is where theory meets reality. Ideas mean nothing without execution. Musk doesn't wait until he feels ready. He builds while learning, fails while moving, adjusts while advancing. Rockets explode, cars malfunction, timelines slip, and still he acts, because action compounds. Every failure SpaceX endured became a lesson. Every crash taught them how not to crash again. Until finally, against all odds, a rocket landed itself back on Earth. A moment that redefined what was possible. That moment wasn't luck. It was relentless perseverance. And perseverance isn't glamorous. It's lonely. It's exhausting. It's misunderstood. But it's unstoppable. When the world tells you to slow down, the Musk mindset asks, what if we accelerate? When fear says stop, it asks, what if we try anyway? This is not about becoming Elon Musk. This is about adopting the mindset that refuses to surrender to limits. Because somewhere inside you there is a problem only you can solve. A future only you can see. A version of yourself waiting for permission you don't actually need. And the question is simple. Will you choose comfort? Or will you choose the relentless path forward? The moment you choose the relentless path, resistance appears. Not as a warning, but as a test. Resilience is built in the moments when quitting makes the most sense. After PayPal was sold, Elon Musk had a choice most people would call winning. He had money, freedom, security. He could have disappeared into comfort and lived a life of quiet luxury. Instead, he made a decision so irrational that even his closest friends thought he had lost his mind. He bet almost everything on two industries where failure was almost guaranteed: space and electric cars. SpaceX and Tesla weren't safe bets. They were near suicidal risks. Aerospace had chewed up billionaires before. The auto industry had crushed innovators for a century. And Musk didn't just invest. He personally carried the burden. His reputation, his finances, his sanity. Then came 2008, the year that almost ended everything. The global economy collapsed. Tesla was weeks away from bankruptcy. SpaceX had failed 3 rocket launches in a row. One more failure meant the end. This is where resilience stops being a motivational word and becomes a survival instinct. Musk was sleeping in factories, negotiating funding while the clock ticked down, watching his bank account drain toward zero. He later admitted that this period was filled with constant stress, emotional pain, and the real possibility of losing everything. And yet he kept going, not because he felt strong, but because he refused to give up. Resilience is not confidence. It's endurance. It's standing back up when your legs are shaking. It's continuing when the outcome is uncertain. It's choosing effort over escape. Then on the edge of collapse, SpaceX launched again. The 4th launch worked. That single success changed everything. NASA contracts followed. Tesla survived. The impossible bent just enough to let the future breathe. That's the cruel irony of success. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. Learning is the hidden weapon of the relentless. Elon Musk was not trained as a rocket scientist. He was not formally educated as an automotive engineer. He didn't grow up inside elite corporate systems. He learned by obsession. He read textbooks. He asked relentless questions. He hired experts and challenged them. He absorbed complexity at terrifying speed. Musk treats ignorance as temporary, not permanent. That mindset alone separates leaders from followers. If you believe skills are fixed, you stay small. If you believe intelligence is limited, you play it safe. But if you believe learning is a weapon, you become dangerous. Adaptability is what keeps vision alive in a changing world. When plans fail, Musk doesn't cling to ego. He adjusts. He iterates. He pivots without abandoning the mission. Rockets get redesigned. Manufacturing processes get rebuilt. Software updates roll out overnight. Adaptability is not weakness. It is respect for reality. Rigid minds break under pressure. Flexible minds bend and keep moving. This is why Tesla isn't just a car company. It's a software company, an energy company, a manufacturing experiment in real time. This is why SpaceX moves faster than governments, because speed comes from learning loops, from humility in the face of physics, from feedback instead of fantasy, and through it all, gratitude quietly exists beneath the intensity. Musk has spoken about being grateful for the opportunity to work on meaningful problems, for being alive at a time when humanity stands on the edge of technological transformation, for the engineers, builders, and dreamers who choose to take the journey with him. Gratitude doesn't slow ambition. It grounds it. It reminds you why the struggle is worth it. Because this isn't about fame. It's not about headlines. It's about impact. And now we reach the truth few people want to face. The Elon Musk mindset is not comfortable. It will demand more than you think you have. It will strip away excuses. It will expose your limits and dare you to exceed them. But it will also unlock a version of you that doesn't flinch at difficulty. A version of you that builds instead of complains, that learns instead of blames, that acts instead of waits. The future does not belong to the fearless. It belongs to those who move despite fear. And right now, this moment, you are standing at a crossroads. You can consume inspiration, or you can become it. You can admire greatness, or you can practice it. Because relentless perseverance is not inherited. It's chosen, daily, quietly, without applause. And the world is shaped by those choices. Stay with me. There comes a point in every relentless journey where the noise fades. The critics get tired. The doubters move on. The applause, if it ever came, goes quiet. And all that's left is you and the work. This is where the Elon Musk mindset reaches its final form. Not excitement, not hype, but resolve. Because the truth is, success is not built in moments of inspiration. It's built in years of unseen pressure. While the world scrolls, someone is building. While others argue, someone is testing. While most people wait for permission, someone is already executing. That someone became Elon Musk not because he was chosen, but because he chose. He chose to think long-term in a short-term world. He chose truth over comfort. He chose responsibility over excuses. When rockets land themselves, when electric cars dominate highways, when private companies challenge governments, what you're seeing is not genius. You're seeing compounded decisions. 1,000 mornings of getting up when quitting felt logical. 1,000 nights of choosing effort over escape. 1,000 moments where good enough was rejected in favor of better. This is what relentless perseverance actually looks like. It looks like carrying stress others wouldn't survive. It looks like being misunderstood at scale. It looks like taking full ownership when things break, because leadership doesn't outsource responsibility. And here's the part that matters most. You do not need Elon Musk's resources. You do not need his IQ. You do not need his companies. What you need is his standard. A standard that says, if this matters, I will endure. If I don't know, I will learn. If I fail, I will adapt. If it's hard, I will not run. Because the world is not changed by people who feel ready. It's changed by people who refuse to stop. Somewhere in your life right now, there is a problem demanding courage, a vision demanding patience, a future demanding discipline, and deep down you already know what that is. The question isn't whether you're capable. The question is whether you're willing to commit when the excitement fades. Relentless perseverance is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't wait for validation. It just keeps going. And one day, quietly, unexpectedly, the impossible becomes inevitable. If this message lit something inside you, don't let it fade. Subscribe to this channel for more life-changing motivation, real mindset shifts, and stories that push you to build, not just dream. Because the future doesn't belong to the comfortable, it belongs to the relentless.